Today I will introduce file handling in Python. So what is a file? A computer file, images, code, etc. stored on a storage device, identified by its unique name and often a file extension, and organized within a file system or folders. So here, a file is a digital information, and that information is stored on a storage device. So whenever you take your own system, your hard disk is a secondary storage device where you can save your files. And in order to identify the files, you need to give some name, and the name should be unique. And also you need to give some extension. Like suppose if you're saving a file as a text file, you give .txt. If it is a Word document, .doc. If it is a PowerPoint presentation, PPT. If it is a C programming, .c. If it is a Java programming, .java. So these are the extensions. And for Python, we obviously write .py. And we can store the particular files in some folders. And the folder names also should be unique. Now, a binary file is a computer file that stores data in binary format. So when you talk about a normal file, we generally consider the text file that is holding purely characters. A binary file is a computer file that stores data in binary format, which is nothing but zeros and ones. Binary files are used to store and process complex data such as images, audio, video, and the other programs. Now, what is file handling in Python? You can create a file, open a file, read through a programming interface. So these are the operations what we can perform on the files. It involves managing the data flow between the program and the file system on the storage device, ensuring the data is handled safely and efficiently. So if you want to create a new file, I can write one program. I can use some functions in Python, file handling functions, and then I can create that particular file, or you can open the file, read, write. So a lot of operations we can do. So everything, whatever you're doing with the program, is been connected to the storage device, and it will store, retrieve. The other operations can also be done. Now, how to open a file? So there is a open function which is used to open a file in Python. The open function takes two parameters. The first one is a file name, and the second one is file mode. So file name, obviously, you know that we give some unique name with some extension you can write. If the file, whatever you're opening and whatever the files you're using are in the same folder, then you can write the relative path. Directly the file name with extension. Otherwise, you can give an absolute path. Let's say you are working in C drive, but you want to retrieve, read, or create a file in D drive. Then you can give the absolute path. And you have the file modes like we have read, write, append. Sort of file modes are available. We'll see in a short while. So these two will be acting as the parameters for the open function. Now coming to the syntax, we write the open function in the file name and the file mode. Now, said whatever I was as showing here are called as a file modes. Now here R stands for read only mode. It opens the file for reading. File must be existing. Otherwise, it raises an error. So you are giving the file name and the mode is read. So compulsorily the file should be existing. Otherwise, no. If you want to read the binary file, there is in binary mode reading binary data. File must be existing. Otherwise, raises an error. R plus stands for read and write mode, both. It opens the file for both reading and writing. File must be existent. Otherwise, it will raise an error. RB plus, read and write in binary mode. So it opens the file for both reading and writing binary data. if you want to read and write both you want to do, then you better go for RB plus, which is used for reading and writing binary data. And the file should be existent, otherwise it is an error. So in all four cases, the file should be existent, then only we can read the data. Either it could be a normal text file or it could be a binary file. Now coming to the next one, if you want to write some data, writing means saving some data into the file. We need to write a mode called W. That implies it's the write mode. So it opens the file for writing. So W stands for write. So whenever you go for the data and save, so it creates a new file or truncates the existing file. So if suppose the file which is already existing and you want to open the particular file and you want to write some data, so you need to put W as a mode, file mode, and when you enter the new characters, the old characters get erased and the new characters will be entered into that particular file. Okay, and if suppose the file whatever you are trying to open is not existent, then a new file will be automatically created and the data will be stored into that particular file. But when you go for read mode, it's mandated that the file should be existing, then only we can do, otherwise error. But here, if the file is not existent, then the new file will be created with the file name whatever you are given and the data will be written into that. So here, if the existing file is, that means the file whatever you have been opening in write mode is available, then the new data what you're trying to write will be overwritten on the old data. That means old data will be removed and new data will be stored. Now WB stands for write in binary mode. It opens a file for writing binary data, creates a new file or truncates the existing file. So the same cases. But here the difference is, here the normal data, here it's the binary data. Here also it can create a new file if the file is not existing, and if the file is existing it will truncate the existing file, means the old data will be removed, new data will be filled. Now W plus stands for write and read mode. It opens a file for both writing and reading, creates a new file or truncates the existing file. Then WB plus, here also write and read in binary mode. It opens a file for both writing and reading binary data. It also creates a new file or truncates the existing file based on the situation. Now coming to the next mode, we write A for append. So append, A stands for append mode. It opens the file for appending data. Appending means it will add to, that means whatever the new data you want to enter, it will be adding to the existing file, that too only to the end of the existing data. We're not inserting in between. And it creates a new file if it doesn't exist. Suppose you are writing open function with some file name, but you write the mode as A. A stands for append. So if the file is existing, whatever you are trying to open, then what the data what you want to append will be added only to the end. If suppose whatever the file you are giving is not existent, then a new file is created automatically and whatever the data you are appending will be stored. Now AB stands for append in binary mode. It opens a file for appending binary data here, and it creates a new file if the file is not existent. Now A plus append and read mode both can be done. To open the file for appending as well as reading. If the file is not existing, it creates a new file. Generally for the appending only we try to go for the new file. Okay. Then AB plus append and read in binary mode. It opens the file for appending and reading binary data and creates a new file if the file is not existent. Then coming to the next one, X stands for exclusive creation mode. So here if you write the mode as X, we write creates a new file and raises an error if the file is already existent. So here we are working with the mode called X, that stands for exclusive creation mode. It creates a new file and raises an error if the file is already existent. That means here we are creating a new file. So if the whatever the name you are giving is already existing, then it raises an error. XB, exclusive creation in binary mode, creates a new binary file. Raise an error if the file is already existing. X plus, exclusive creation with read and write mode. So creates a new file for reading as well as writing both, and raise an error if the file is already existing. XB plus, exclusive creation with read and write in binary mode. That means you want to create a binary file, and that too for both operations reading and writing. And if the file is already existing, then it raises an error. So here you are trying to create a new file, but if the particular name, whatever you are trying to give here as a file name, is already existing, then it leads to an error. So these are few concepts input on the file handling in Python introduction concepts. So if you like this video, do comment, subscribe and share it to your friends. Thank you.